Hello guys, Mr. Visual here. In this video, I will demonstrate how to effectively produce details from section for ArchiCAD projects. This will outline different strategies you can use to constantly produce quality drawings with less time. I will show you how to use the building information modeling method to detail your work to save time, and that means you can do many projects in a short period of time and ultimately do a good business. Without any further ado, let's get started. The area that we're going to focus here, put in detail, is the roof part. So the first thing that we need to do is to place a callout of the detail that we're going to focus on. So to do so, let's go to the viewpoints and then activate the detail tool. You can check on the list of the favorites there, and I'll use this NCS detail marker. Double click on it, and then I'm going to use the geometry method of rectangular to place this marker. So I'll specify the first point to draw the rectangle, then the second point here, and then the hammer cursor will pop out for us to place the ID of this callout. So just place it here. Perfect. We can adjust this to suit our standards. If you look at this, I can select it, then click on these points to adjust the radius of the chamfer, just like that. And then another thing is to reduce. If you go to its settings, let's reduce the size or the diameter of the circle to something like 10, the text height to fit in that circle, let's do it 1.5. and then make sure the layer is appropriate. I'll use the 2D general layer according to your layer system, then hit OK. Perfect. Remember, this information is just for reference. We're not going to use 2D information to further detail this. We're going to use this as a reference. So our view, we need to save a view for this part. So what I'll do, I'll zoom in like so that it can only show only this screen. And then if you go here under architectural or under the view map, so let's create a folder for details. So I'll create a folder, call it details. Hit OK. Move it inside the architectural. So what I'll do, I'll save this view, this current view. Under here, click on this to save this view, and then the ID I'll leave as it is, or I can just customize the ID. Let's say the custom, and then we'll say D01. The name also, I'm going to change it to detail or roof detail. That's like that. And then the layer combination will be something like detail. Scale is going to be 1:220. Yeah, I think that's another important thing is under the zooming part. So I'll say current view, so that whenever time you want to open this view, it will restrict it to this current view only. So I'll say create. Oh, sorry, it means some layers are off. Let's Control L to bring our layer settings, and then let's activate all the layers under the detail tool. So I'll select all and then activate, update, hit OK. So all the layers will be active on this view. Once you check, if you double click on it to open it, it should restrict that to the view. So we need to adjust this. There is a problem. We need to adjust this. Let's right click on it, go to view settings, and then what we want the zooming to be the current view. So let's set that view. We want something like that. Let me adjust this to there, and then do that. Right click on the view, go to view settings, then under zooming, let's change this to current zoom, then hit OK, so that every time when you switch on to a different view, when you get back to this detail, it will automatically restrict you to see only this detail, which is cool. Unlike when you're using 2D information, we have to open this call out to access the only 2D information of this view so that you can further detail. So this is the tricky that I'm using for detailing using building information modeling strategy. So let's continue. We're going to add the flashing of the parapet wall that will continue to the roof slab, and then we're going to see how we're going to add the composite material, like the underside of the slab and then the waterproofing of the slab. So we're going to use both the profile manager to carve this and the composites. So let's do it. So I'm going to first draft the content of my detail. So I'll use 2D information. Go to documents, let's pick the polyline. I'll draw a line like that, just like that, maybe there. And then what I'll do, I'll click on this, click on the corner, offset this. To add a copy, I'll hit control on the keyboard to add a copy, and then this will be 20. Perfect. Now I'm going to copy these two guys. I can just cut, Control X to cut. Let's open a profile manager. From there, we're going to create a new profile. I'll call it parapet flashing. Hit OK. Let's paste that 2D information. Control V to paste. I'll use just the center of the screen to paste, and then I'll pick this corner as the reference point to this, which is perfect. Then click outside the marquee to complete the operation. And then from there, we're going to trace over this using a fill tool. So click on the fill tool. Let's change the material to something like a plaster, because it's just a flashing. You can use metal as well. So geometry method, I'll use this polygonal just to trace over sorry, to trace over this like so, like so, and then select that and then go to outline, activate the outline so that you can see. I can now get rid of the 2D lines. To select them all, I'll to select them all, you can select the line tool and then hit Control A to select all, then delete to remain with the fill. So what I'll do, I'll select this and then pick this corner let's chamfer it by, I think 100 is fine. Hit 100 so that we have a nice gradient of water falling from the parapet wall to our roof slab, of which is fine. So we're going to use a beam tool to place this flashing into our parapet wall. So I'll activate that and then save as a profile. Then let's go back to our 3D to see where this circle is going to be. I'm going to place this in this space here. You can just orbit to see. I'm going to wrap around this profile to treat this roof slab there. So to do that, I'm going to use a roof plane to place it. Go to the roof plane, and then it's supposed to be this area. What I can do, activate the trace, and then let's go to design, beam tool, change the structure to profile, and then let's activate our newly created flashing parapet wall. Then I'll quickly draw that using this polygonal method. Just quickly pick the insides of the walls. It comes here, go all the way like so. Just like that. If you check on the 3D, it's nicely wrapped. If you now zoom in a bit here, I think we need to adjust it on the roof, on the section. Sorry, let me get rid of unnecessary tabs here for you to see nice. Go back to the detail, and then what I want is to select this, move it where it's supposed to be placed, like so. Perfect. Now we have the flashing wrapping around our parapet wall and then to the roof slab, of which is perfect. So now if you look at it, we have this point. So if you measure it, it's going to be 20 millimeters. Our height of the slab is 180. So we need to create a composite that will address this. We're going to have another waterproofing on top of this slab that will continue where the profile for flashing is left. So we have to add at the underside of the underside treatment of this roof slab as well. So to do that, let's go to options and then element attributes, bring your composite, and then I'm going to pick already existing slabs here. I have already for roof there, and then I'm going to duplicate this. I'll call it this one roof slab. Make sure you are duplicating, not new, and then hit OK. So there's only one skin here, but we need to have 3 skins to accommodate, the underside treatment of the slab and then the waterproofing on the top to connect with that flashing already created for the parapet wall. So to do that, I'm going to insert a skin, 2 skins rather, and then the top one is going to be representing the waterproofing, which is 20 millimeters high, and then this one also going to be 20 millimeters high. This I'll use 180 like so, and then let's change the materials for this. This has to be the same as the flashing profile material for it to connect nicely. So I'm going to check plaster and finish. This also we can use Yeah, we can use a plaster and finish for the underside also. And then I think everything is fine. Hit OK. So let's activate that. Change this to our newly created roof slab. What is wrong? I didn't save. There's a problem here. If we click here and then right click to edit composite profile. So what is the problem? Because we have everything here set. This is strange. It's a problem that we need to solve. I don't know what might trigger it. So let's change this to a normal profile, a normal structure, and then we change it back. Let's hope it will apply. Perfect. It needed just to activate. Okay, so we need to align this to, let's align it to the height of the flashing, like so. Perfect. Now you can see there's two different objects here, which is the slab and then this profile, but the connection is smooth. It's because we use the same material, so it detects, so this is the same material, and then it will connect perfectly. This uses the connection priority connection, sorry guys, for this smart technology of ArchiCAD. Now you have your detail in place. As you can see, now we have nicely wrapped around this in both corners. You can go ahead and add other materials like maybe the capping here instead of having this way, or edit this. If you right click on this one and then edit, okay, you need to, this is another tip guys, when your groups are suspended, you can't access editing of your complex profile. I think same applies to the composite. What you need to do is to unsuspend your group, and then that's when you can access this feature, edit selected composite. So what I was saying, we can basically, instead of having it this way, you can modify this to have an inclination to allow water to drip or fall to the inside of your roof instead of the outside of your wall. Practically, that is the best way to do it. Go back there. It will automatically update your profiles. Then you have something like that. Perfect. Let's go back here to our detail. Now we have our components in place. Let's take our detailing further by placing annotations and dimensions to this to give meanings to these components. We can use different ways of doing that, but I'm interested of sharing this one. So I use label 2. If you click on label 2, activate the label 2 and then go to its settings, you see the bunch of labels options that we can use to label our components. Let me start with the first one, the text or auto text, whereby you just click on the component and then key in the information manually, or typing in the information for that, or the description of that component. So if you go back, another one is to use classification and properties label, where you set a criteria on how the information should be extracted from the component. So the best way to do it is to place it first. To place it first and then come back, select it, then let me activate the label, then come back to its settings to set out the criteria. For example, if you look at under symbol and label custom settings, we have this option of select data and display data by. In this case, by default, it will show you the parameter name and value, and then the select data will be categories only. So what I'll do, I'll change this to create sorting to access this. So you have different 11, more than 19 rows. There are 20 that you can set a label. So in this case, the first row I want to have the ID, and then the second row I want us to have the classifications or the class of that component. That is perfect. If you hit OK, so this how it will give you. So the ID will be blah 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 29, and then the uniformat as a description will be blah 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 footing. I don't know why I say footing, but then let me show you something. If you go back and change the display data by, instead of parameter name and value, change it to parameter value only, and then hit OK. So it will now give this information. Also, you can also adjust it to maybe show only the description instead of the ID. Get rid of that by saying none, and then it will give you this way. So that's basically the classification and the auto text classification and properties label and the auto text label. Another interesting part is this one. Go back. Another interesting one is the, where is it? Is the composite and profile label, composite and profile name label. So what you do, you click on the label, it will give you the name of the, or the description of that component. So if you check here and then activate the label, that will be that. So in this case, it will be very key on how you label or you naming your component while you are creating them, because you know the value of proper naming to extract information in later stages. So for example, you can continue and click on even this one, it will give you that, and then the roof slab, blah blah. Yeah, you can quickly place your thing as quick as you want. So that's basically that, guys. I wanted to share with you. And then in this template, we have presets of the labels that you can use. So if you double click on this and that, it will give you the automatic set of that. So if you want this template, I'll give this project for free. I'll give you this project for free. It's still ongoing. So go purchase this. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can improve your workflow by producing good quality projects and spend less time doing your project, and that will ultimately give you a good business. I'm telling you, if you save a lot of time, it means what? You spend time doing your project, and you can do plenty of projects in a short period of time. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.